How did I throw out the manual? Is this thing on? Oh yeah. Let's rock and roll. Sandro, hey man.
Oh, hey, Red.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
The Angry Birds Journey Q&A, Sandro. We talked about this.
Of course. I do remember. I was about to have lunch, but I think we can mix the two things together.
Look, I've done the hard work of compiling questions from our Discord server, Rovio Gaming. So let's get it rolling.
Let's do it.
First up, how was the idea for Angry Birds Journey made?
We wanted to go back to the roots of Rovio, so make a slingshot game, but we also wanted to make it accessible and enjoyable for people who don't have the timing and aiming skills required by previous titles.
Oh, that's a lovely way to put it. What was the target audience with this game?
Everyone. We wanted to make a game that would be playable by anyone.
Yeah, we're inclusive to everyone, baby. But Jett Speed wonders, why can't you replay Angry Birds Journey levels like you can in AB2?
Because the game is about the journey, so that's what's ahead. It doesn't matter what's behind.
That's really inspiring. I might get emotional.
Thank you.
Okay, this one's a silly one, but I'll ask it anyway. Why does the game exist?
Because?
Very eloquent answer, Sandro. What was the hardest part of the game to do?
Making what worked in 2010 work in 2022.
The times have indeed changed. Take it from me. I've been around this whole time, unlike some birds. No shade, none at all. On that note, are there any plans to add more birds to the game?
Near future, no. Far future, maybe.
A bit tight-lipped on the answers here, dude.
Well, you know, as the game grows, we'll naturally add more characters, both existing ones and new ones.
Well, Blue Jimmy 48 fan asks, will there be additional chapters even beyond the first 8 worlds?
Yes.
And will Mighty Eagle perhaps be in the game?
Well, we can only resist his might for so long.
Circlerev wonders, how was the firefly able to carry Stella?
Magic.
That is definitely some kind of cop-out. Next, Orangebird asks, was it hard to give Red an ability since he normally doesn't have one? Hey, listen, I have literally jumped between dimensions, bending the space-time continuum to my will. What powers do you have, Orangebird?
Well, to give him the ability was a piece of cake, but to give him the ability that is useful in the game, is different enough from other birds, is understandable by players, yeah.
I'll take it. Oh, anyway, here's a fun one. Why did Silver's voice go from "woo, yeah" to
Well, that first one, a nice impression, by the way. That first one was never really the intended character of hers. It was a placeholder, so we changed it as soon as we could.
But the other birds' voices were also changed. Why is that?
Well, all the voiceovers were placeholders when we started making the game, and then before we globally launched, we had professional voice actors come in and redo all of them.
Hey, don't walk too fast. This camera's heavy.
You gotta work out more, man.
Well, not Silver questions. How did the pigs manage to trap the hatchlings in blocks back when the game was called Angry Birds Casual?
That's from the older days, early days when we were still exploring the narrative, and the game was kind of playing around with different directions, and this is one of many paths not taken. You wanna play a game?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm so good. Oh, come
Too
on.
slow.
You didn't let me warm up. All right. Well, Butterfly asks, why can piggies hold Newton's cradle set? Are they some kind of geniuses or something? The short answer is no, they are not.
Well, it's a physics toy. right? So it kind of represents the game's core, which is physics. And then they play around with it to kill time while you, as a player, are slacking off.
Well, I sincerely doubt the pigs are geniuses. Is there any sort of backstory surrounding Gaia?
Gaia is kind of like a godlike ancient bird who spends most of her time asleep in an egg wonder. And then there's a cycle every 1,000 years where she gets hatched by heroes who happen to be around, which is you guys at this moment. And then she sets them up on a quest to find the rest of the egg wonders and free other spirit birds to keep the world in balance.
That's me. Shout out to Gaia. I would spend most of my time asleep too if I could, but, my schedule is way too busy.
Tell me about it.
Anyway, how many egg wonders are there in the world of Angry Bird's Journey?
Only one way to find out. How many questions are there again?
We're more than halfway there, so don't complain, Sandro.
I'm not complaining.
This is for the loving fans, remember? Nice. Anyway, how many levels does Angry Bird's Journey have in total?
About 1,700 as of today, but that number grows, always grows.
Mikw wants to know, is there a pattern in creating the levels? And if so, what is it?
We have what we call level types, and these define different experiences. So, for example, you can have a cerebral level, where if a player takes one specific block off, then everything gets destroyed. Or you can have a storytelling level, where things look like other things, and it tells like a mini narrative, and stuff like this.
Fascinating. Cerebral is a great word. I will totally not Google that after this. What is your favorite mechanic to work with when designing levels?
I'd say our level designer is more equipped to answer that question. We can actually find him. I think it was somewhere around here. Let's go and see if he indeed is.
Hey, again, not so fast, man.
Again, drink water, eat healthy.
Yeah, some of us have more important things to do.
Satish, my man, we have a question for you.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Satish.
Hi.
The question was, what is your favorite mechanic to work with when designing levels?
Blockchains and keys.
Okay. Not a man of many words now, is he? What did you just say?
Yeah, never mind.
Moving on. Is there a method in place that gets easier if players fail several times?
What, you mean you don't believe you get better the more you try levels? Give yourself some credit.
I mean, I don't need any help. I'm a pro gamer, but we don't want no rage quitters. What was the thought process behind the physics in the game compared to others in the series?
I like this, man. Well, we wanted to have many knobs and good control over physics so that we could get very precise gameplay that we needed and not rely on one physics formula.
Okay, this camera's getting extra heavy, so it's time for a rapid fire round of questions. Is the game gonna be a Chad game?
I'd say it's more of a Jesse game.
Are more boosters gonna be added in the game?
Yes, probably.
Will you add some music variations in the game?
There's already music variation in the game. Every land has its own music.
What's your favorite piece of music in AB Journey?
I'd say I'm split between rocky canyons and icy caverns.
And last but not the least, what caused the name change from Casual to Journey?
Well, Casual was never really the intended name. It was more for the internal code name to rhyme well to ABC, which it did. And then once game took enough shape, we renamed it to Journey.
The Journey to Journey. Well, thank you for answering the question, Sandro. The fans will surely get a kick out of this.
Thank you, Red. My pleasure. I do need to bounce now, but it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Man, I got some great footage. Now, what are these? How do I turn this thing off?